Before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself again. I am Thea Ulangkaya and I am Collins' teacher as well as the person leading his intervention. Today we're here to look at his progress so far and talk about the next steps that we can take to support his learning. I'll be sharing the results from the past 9 weeks of his intervention and outlining some proposed changes to help him continue moving forward. Before this meeting, I reviewed his data with the rest of our team, and together we've identified some next steps to better support his growth. Today, we're here to look at his progress so far and talk about the next steps we can take to support his learning. I'll be sharing the results from the past 9 weeks of his intervention and outlining some proposed changes to help him continue moving forward. Before this meeting, I reviewed his data with the rest of our team, and together we've identified some next steps to better support his growth. Now, just a brief look at Collins' progress monitoring data. His intervention has been focused on improving his vocabulary knowledge. He began with a baseline score of 30, and our goal for him is to reach 50. Over the past 9 weeks, we've seen some ups and downs. In week 1, he held steady at 30, but from weeks 3 to 5, his scores dropped to 25. He made some gains in week 7, returning to 30, but dipped again to 25 in week 9. These fluctuations suggest that while Collins is learning, he's having difficulty maintaining steady progress. This pattern made me take a closer look at the strategies and the assessment tools that I've been using. I started asking myself questions like, did I miss anything in how I assessed him? Could there be any outside factors such as changes in routine, motivations, or activities we're using that are affecting his progress? There are so many variables to consider, and I took the time to think through them before meeting with the team. While we do see signs of growth, it's clear that we may need to adjust our approach. This doesn't mean that Collins isn't learning. It simply means that we need to be flexible and find out what works best for him. I'm currently reviewing both instructional activities and the way we measure his progress to ensure they're supporting his needs effectively. Our goal is to help Collins make more consistent gains and move steadily toward his vocabulary goal. Since there were inconsistencies with his progress, I decided to ask for second opinions from the team members. I showed them the results and spoke with them. We collaborated and assessed potential literacy issues, including dyslexia, that made his growth become inconsistent. And to give you an idea, dyslexia is a neurodevelopmental disorder with a probable genetic basis. And it is generally agreed that more boys than girls are affected. The core feature of dyslexia is problem with word decoding, which in turn impacts spelling performances and the development of reading fluency. And based on the results so far, the team and I plan to continue supporting Collins by adjusting my intervention approach, strategies, and tools. Our goal is to help increase his vocabulary knowledge by using new methods such as one-on-one tutoring and ongoing progress monitoring through regular check-ins and personalized feedback during each session. I will also introduce open-ended activities to encourage Collins to take an active role in his learning. We also decided to use intervention strategies recommended in a 2022 blog published by the Search Institute. One of my main goals is to ensure that Collins clearly understands each task and what is expected from him. I will encourage him to think out loud and to ask right away if something confuses him or if he has some questions. To support his understanding, I plan to break down more complex tasks into smaller and manageable steps. In addition to the regular check-ins and personalized feedback during each session, our team's literacy specialist will support Collins by having him write down what he learned each day and by asking open-ended questions to help measure his vocabulary growth. I will also create a chart that highlights both his strengths and the areas where he might need a bit more support. This way, Collins can stay motivated and see how much he's growing over time. We kindly ask for your support at home as well. If possible, please take a few minutes each day to read a book with Collins. This small daily habit can make a big difference in helping him expand his vocabulary and develop a love for reading. You can also make reading more fun and meaningful by playing games or playing word games, specifically talking about word meanings and pointing out interesting word as you read. And also, before you start a book, take a moment to look at the cover and talk about what might happen in the story. Asking questions before, during, and after reading helps your child stay engaged and think more deeply about the ideas in the story. Incorporating technology is also another great way to make learning exciting. Using digital educational platforms like games or interactive activities can make reading and vocabulary practice more enjoyable while helping meet your child's literacy needs. You can also take Collins to a public library, bookstores, or book fairs just to expose him to more books, more words, and of course to people who actually love books. To show our appreciation to Collins' progress, it is very important that we also celebrate his wins, no matter how small they are. At home and at school, we can use positive reinforcement and proudly display his progress chart so he can see how far he's come. Reaching his vocabulary goals is a big accomplishment, and recognizing each step along the way can help his confidence and motivation. If you'd like to reward him with small prizes like treats, candies, or something fun, that's totally fine with us. So that's all for today's meeting. We'll meet again in a few weeks to follow up with Collins' progress. In the meantime, if you need something or have questions or any concerns, feel free to reach out to me through text, email, or you can also call me or any of the team members. Our goal is for Collins to reach 50, and we're hopeful that he'll get there before the next meeting. Thank you so much for your continued support, and you guys have a good day. I'll see you again soon.